Hi Beth, Butch and Bill.
Hello.
Hi.
It's nice to meet you. I'm wondering how I can be of help to you guys today. What's going on?
Well, I'm trying to move back in with them, and you know, I don't want to cause problems, but it seems like every time I do, I do, and I don't try to, but I cause problems because of my wanting to be free and no rules stuff.
It must be nice.
That having no rules.
Yeah, I have to have my rules. We got to pay the rent here. I think everybody has to chip in. And you just remember what happened last time.
Can you tell me what happened last time? I mean, I read a little bit about this, and it sounds like, Bill, you've gotten out of treatment for the second time, and last time you lived with them, you ran up the phone and cable bill and didn't really buy groceries or pay the rent like you talked about. And from what I read, this creates some distrust. And I'm just wondering if you guys can fill me in on what's going on right now. What it is that brought you here. If Bill brought you here, if you guys brought Bill here, or if you are all here together.
Well, first of all, I don't think he really causes that much trouble, but we do have to be kind of careful. We do have neighbors and we do have friends that come over, and Bill's lifestyle just might be a little bit different than ours. So I'm just a little worried about having somebody new in our house, and I really think you're a great guy, and I really don't think you're that much trouble, but we do have to be kind of careful.
Okay. Butch, can you give me some background?
Well, we're brothers. We know each other pretty well. And, we're family. So, just that it's okay. We tried this before. I just want to have some reassurance, I guess, that we're not going to repeat what happened the last time. That's reasonable. I mean, is it?
It's totally reasonable.
That's all I'm asking.
I'm wondering how you feel about being here right now.
What do you mean?
I'm wondering what you're feeling right now. When you talk to him
Yeah.
about your needs, and when you talk to him about, the experience in the past, how does that make you feel right now?
It's like I've seen this movie before.
Okay, and when you see the movie, how does the movie make you feel?
I don't exactly know. What does that mean?
Okay, so it sounds like you got a picture in your head. I want you to kind of watch it. And when you watch it, I want you to think about how you're feeling as you see this play out, like you say you think it's going to.
Does that make sense to you?
Well,
What is the first thing you see happening?
I wonder why that doesn't make much sense to me.
I understand.
Yeah.
So when you talk about how this is going to play out, what's the first thing that you see happening?
What happened before? Like, where's the change?
Okay, what happened before?
What happened before?
When you say you see this play out as a movie,
Yeah.
tell me one of the scenes. What happened?
Well, I'll tell you what happened before. How's that? Is that good enough?
Yes.
'Cause,
yes.
there was an agreement to pay a little bit of rent, and you did, but it was not consistently. Am I right? Am I wrong?
No, you're right.
Yeah. And you know, there's an agreement, there wouldn't be any drinking and behavior, you know, we have to, you know, we both have jobs, so you gotta get up early and not have late night, you know. It was fun when we were kids, but we're not kids anymore. You know, we gotta be responsible. And I love you, you're my brother, but, you know, I'm tired of the way, I'm tired of the behavior. I'm tired of how it happened. I don't want it to happen again. Is that pretty much what you want?
Well, I'm here to try and help you with what you want. So it sounds like you have a need from Bill to respect how he affects you when he's living in your home. And what I'm wondering about is how it makes you feel being disrespected and being put in a position where it sounds like you're afraid that may happen again.
Well, I didn't understand all that, but I just don't want it to happen again. I mean, I think I'm pretty clear about that.
I understand.
Yeah, I don't need to, you know, I just don't want that to happen again.
How do you feel?
You asked that before, and I talked about it.
Do you feel a little frustrated?
Are you talking to me like a child? I'm not a child,
Okay.
okay? I'm an adult. I'm probably older than you are.
I
But
think
you're talking to me
I
like
think
a
you are.
child.
I think you are older than me.
Yeah.
So if I'm not going to talk to you like a child, what do you need from me? How do you need me to talk to you right now?
Why aren't you talking to him? Why is this my problem all of a sudden? This is my house. This is my wife. We're here. That's my brother. We're
Well,
offering
kick
him a
him
place
out.
to live.
Kick him out. Get him out now.
He's family.
Okay, so what
You
does
don't
it
do
mean?
that.
What does it mean to be family in your family?
Well, I can kind of see that what he wants is more than just a bunch of words. I'm gonna have to, I'd even sign a contract, you know, if you'd want. You know, not necessarily a written out paper or nothing, but something that we have an agreement, if I don't produce of what I say, there's gonna be a door open for me to go, or not even that, or if you don't even want me to move in, that's fine too, but
No,
that's why we're here.
That's not what I'm saying. You know, we're gonna. You asked for another chance, and I'm willing to give that to you, and I think you are too. And what do you, you know?
Sure.
How do you feel about them offering you another chance?
Well, I think it's great that they're gonna allow me one more time.
I understand you think it's great. I'm wondering how you feel.
Well, my family never talks about feelings, for one thing.
Right?
Because
Do you
we're-
feel like you don't have feelings? Do you,
Well,
you
of
guys don't
course,
have
we
any-
all have
Oh,
feelings.
Okay, so
It's
how?
just, it's one of them things we've never talked about, you know, we
Right.
always
No.
just let things
Okay,
work themselves out.
and how has that worked out?
It hasn't,
So how do you feel?
huh? Well, I feel like, on my last leg, if you would.
How does it feel to be on your last leg?
Holy moly, did I know that one was coming. I don't know.
Do you feel afraid?
Insecurity, I feel, you know, I'm not afraid.
So do you feel possibly that you're setting yourself up for failure, and if you fail, you lose your relationship? It sounds like you guys really need each other. You need each other because you thought, this is family, I want to do well, yes, he can come here, and this is how it affects us. So do you have a reluctance or maybe apprehensiveness or frustration because you're afraid that you will lose each other in the process if
Well,
something
I could,
happens?
for myself, I I don't want to burn any more bridges.
How does it make you feel when you burn bridges?
Well, no, of course it's not going to be good.
How does it make you feel when you burn bridges? There's,
What are we back in the 70s here?
how about we start with 4 feelings? Anger, sadness, happiness, and relief. How about we focus as a family on those 4 feelings? If you play out in your mind a movie of how this would be, rather than it having be last time, and that it ends up being that he's respectful, that you share fond memories with each other, that you have dinners together, would you experience anger, sadness, happiness, or relief?
Probably anger. I mean, if I'm just gonna be honest with you.
You would feel anger if things worked out well.
That's what we get to pick?
Anger, sadness, happiness, and relief. If you replayed the story in your head, the movie you have played out, and it has some positive scenes rather than what happened before, would you feel anger, sadness, happiness, or relief?
You mean if it's the same, or different or the same?
If it's different,
If it's different.
yes.
I'd be happier if it was different.
How would you feel?
I would feel a little bit of relief and happiness.
And how would you feel? I'd like to have you kind of move in. You live in the house too, and I'd like to hear what you
Oh,
have to
I'd be
say.
relieved.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So we have relief on the table. What would you like to see, what needs to happen in order for you to feel relief while Bill's living here? How about from you?
Well, I just want everybody to get along.
Okay, so it doesn't sound like what's been practiced with you guys achieves that goal. And I think that's a really admirable goal. I think that it's a really reasonable and sustainable goal. So what would it mean for you if everybody was getting along? What would that mean? What would it look like?
Well, we'd all just be happy and
How would you be treated? If you think about a day and you came home from work that day, and let's say we just take dinner time, what would dinner time look like
well,
for you? And play it out in your mind a little bit and tell me how you'd feel at the dinner table.
well, at least everyone would be there. And
Would you feel like you had support, connectedness?
maybe, sure.
Okay. And how would it feel to sit at the dinner table with those two? Came home, maybe Butch made a nice meal.
Oh, I think it would be okay.
Okay. Would you feel relieved, happy, angry,
Relieved.
relieved? Okay. So, how about you imagine what it's like for them when you come home to join them for dinner? How would that be for them when you walk in the door and sit down?
Well, I think it would be okay.
What do you think they'd be experiencing?
If what? If everything was happy-go-lucky?
How would it be if there was a time that you guys actually sat down to dinner together and she came in and sat down and wondering her perspective of what it's like for the two of you, her perspective of what it's like for the two of you? That means you
I
don't talk,
would,
it's her perspective of what it's like for the two of you.
You want me to say?
Yeah, your
Oh.
perspective
Oh, I
of what
thought you
it's
were
like for the two
asking
of
me
them.
what.
Oh,
okay.
oh, okay, I'm sorry, I didn't
Kick 'em out.
understand. I didn't understand.
Your perspective of what it's like for the two of them.
Well, I think so
When you
long as
come in.
everybody was doing what they should be doing, it would be okay.
And what does it feel like when everybody's doing what they should be doing? Do you feel happiness, sadness, anger, or relief?
Relieved.
What would it be like to feel happiness together? Can you go back to your childhood with Bill and think of a day where you experienced happiness, just being together? Did you ever go to the beach, the park
No,
together?
when we were, I don't know, playing hockey.
Okay. So what was it like when you guys played hockey together? Were you working as a team? Did you feel like he was there for you? You got to be
Right,
there
I
for
think
him?
what you're saying, what I'm thinking anyways, is that there would be open communications.
Yeah, I asked you what it would look like.
Oh,
To
well,
feel
that's what it
happiness.
would look like. There'd be open communication between everybody.
Okay, so you guys are kind of practicing that now. You got a head start on it a little bit because you have 4 feelings that you can draw off of that you might be experiencing at
Mike,
any given time. So what would it look like? Would Beth be in the bleachers watching you guys play together and kind of cheering you on? And then the 3 of you together? Is that what it would look like to have happiness and togetherness as a family?
If we were winning, maybe,
I would think
Did
so.
you
I
guys
think
win when you were in your childhood?
sometimes.
Sometimes. Okay. And what did it feel like when you lost? Did that mean you weren't together anymore? Did that mean you didn't get your needs met from each other, or did you still play as a team? Did Beth still cheer you on?
No, we just, you know, it was a good game. You know, sometimes you get beat, right? I mean,
Yeah.
yeah. So you win some, you lose some.
What's it like for you when they lose?
So long as everybody's getting along, it's okay by me.
And does that, getting along, is that an absence of something or an inclusion of
I
something?
think it just means that nobody's angry and upset. And everybody's kind of, you know, understands what they're supposed to do and how things should be. And
So when you guys, you know, you've all kind of talked about anger. I'm wondering if underneath that anger, what you might be experiencing, if you recognize any fear when things are out of place, when people aren't doing what they're supposed to do.
Can you say that again?
Are you ever afraid?
When?
I'm wondering, well, you would know that. I'm wondering if you're ever afraid. Have you ever been afraid?
Yeah, once in a while. Everybody feels that once in a while.
When do you know when you get afraid? When do you get afraid?
When you piss Dad off,
What happens when you piss them off?
you want to describe it, you know?
I'm the young one. I'd blame it on you. So.
Well,
No, he was just a guy that you wouldn't want to piss off, and
Yeah.
then you walked on eggshells all the time, so you didn't ruffle the newspaper or whatever.
yeah.
You know, from what you've shared with me, I'm wondering if you feel like y'all walk on eggshells now. Even when he's not
Somewhat.
here.
You know, like, you know, I'd come home. The last time, I would always feel like I gotta sneak to my room, you know, type things. But if I wasn't screwing up, I wouldn't have had to felt that way. So I don't.
What was it you think you might have been avoiding?
Conflicts.
And what's it like when you experience those conflicts? What does it feel like?
Well, I don't want to hurt her or my brother.
How does it feel for you when you hurt them?
That doesn't feel good.
Do you feel sad? Do you feel happy, angry, or relieved?
Well, of course it's going to be sad.
Okay, and why would it be sad?
Because don't want to disappoint the people that care about you. That's just the way it is.
What is it that may happen if you disappoint them?
That's when anger comes up.
And what happens when anger comes up?
Then no more relief.
Do you guys separate from each other a lot? I mean, it sounds like you're kind of all separate, and at the same time, you don't want to lose anything.
What?
Sounds like you're afraid of losing your brother. He's your family, and you want to keep a family. However, sounds like you're also not really happy.
I just want him to do the right thing for everybody. Not asking too much, I don't think. I mean, I can do it, right? You do it.
How does it feel when you do the right thing?
Normal,
And what does normal feel like?
normal. I don't know what that means.
Do you feel happy, sad, angry, or relieved? When you're able to do the right thing. Just kick him out.
Hank? No, it... I don't understand that.
When you're doing the right thing,
Yeah.
and you know that you've done the right thing, do you feel like then you get to stay close to your family? Do you feel like maybe there's less fear? Maybe there's less anger and there's more relief? However, I'm
Oh.
wondering if you experience happiness
Okay, yeah. Yes, some of it, yeah.
and what some of that is happening when you do the right thing.
Yeah, you could call it happiness, not overjoyed, you know, but just everything feels okay. Everything feels okay.
Everything feels okay.
Yeah. Am I right?
I agree, yeah. It's
Mhm.
like if all 8 pistons are running right,
Yeah,
you know, why screw around with anything?
you don't worry
How
about
do
it.
you feel?
Can I pick afraid?
Yes.
I'm really afraid.
And what are you afraid of?
I just don't want to see this go bad again. I can't stand it when things go bad again. I cannot stand it. It makes me want to run away. It makes me want to run away and I have nowhere to go.
You know, I was kind of wondering
I'm
about...
really afraid.
I'm really grateful for you sharing it. I think it's really good to recognize that. And as I'm listening to you, I'm wondering if you all separate from each other when things aren't going how the way you feel they should be going. And I'm wondering if before our next session, if maybe I can give you a little exercise that when you're afraid, when you feel like things aren't going right, and when you don't want to disappoint, if maybe you could take 5 minutes of turning toward each other rather than running away and separating yourselves from each other. And it may be difficult to start talking about feelings or even recognizing them, but I think it's really important. But maybe when you do go together to talk for a while, consider how the other person might be experiencing things at that time. Like maybe start listening to the other person's experience instead of pushing each other away.
Well, that's what I said in the beginning, that there'd be open communication.
And do you want to be in charge of that? Do you want to be in charge of opening, you know, maybe figuring out a plan while you're at home prior to the next session of how you can then spend at least 10 minutes during the week sitting down and opening the lines of communication. What I also like you to do is at least name one feeling of what you're feeling at that time. Can you facilitate that?
I don't know if, does normal families do that?
I'm not really concerned with normal families.
Well,
I don't even know what that means, but what I'm concerned with is that you guys separate yourselves from each other. You want to be together, you want this to work, and you don't go toward each other. And you don't consider, maybe because it's a lack of practice, not that you don't have the ability, of what it might be like for the other people you're living with. Everyone seems kind of closed off and breaks away, and there's no expression of how things are going on inside of you. So I'm wondering if you can facilitate
I
that.
sure can.
And then maybe you all express one feeling out of the four you can start off with of either anger, sadness, fear, or relief of what you might be feeling at that time. And just spend a little time talking about it. And before we close today, I want to congratulate you on your courage for coming in here. I think it took a lot. And it sounds like you're all very important to each other. And you all really want to be with each other. And I think that you've developed great insight into knowing that you don't know how to do that. And so this is a beginning. And in the future we can do some role playing. And I thought about, you know, as time goes on, you become more comfortable with it. We would probably set up a scenario where your parents are here also in empty chairs. And maybe kind of role play some situations or scenes of what it was like with them. And when you become more comfortable to be able to express, to be able to do something like that and express how you feel. Before we close today, I want you to just think for a minute. You guys have done a great job, and I think that you'll continue to grow as you come back. But I want you to share with me one thing you're feeling right now. How do you feel?
I'm relieved.
I think that's wonderful, because you were just really, really afraid a little bit ago. That is awesome. Butch, how do you feel about her being relieved rather than afraid?
I'm happy you're feeling relieved.
And Bill, how do you feel about Butch being happy?
I'm happy that he's happy.
And so, you know, when we started this, you talked about just wanting everything to be okay and no anger. And they're both happy and you're relieved. That's really cool, because it doesn't sound like that's something you guys have experienced together in a really long time. And I want you to know that you can take that experience and those feelings out with you into your day with each other today. I'm so glad you came in. And I'm really looking forward to meeting with you guys again, because I think you're great. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.